Hi everybody, David Harper here. I'm going to show you what £500 worth of jade Chinese incense burner looks like. It's called a censer. And crucially, how to use it correctly and show you the benefits it can bring to your life, your mental well-being, physical well-being, material well-being, in fact, any well-being you can think of. So first of all, of course, you just need an incense stick, a joss stick, which is exactly what the Chinese use and have been using for centuries. So let it burn a little bit. Now this, while it's burning and heating up a bit, I'll show you the jade censer. So it comes in 3 parts, and this is that lovely, that's fine, it's working. That lovely mottled green jade. So lid, secondary lid, old stick in there, the base, and a wooden hardwood stand made specifically for the censer itself. So a real good heavy thing, ring handles, typical kind of dragon mask designs, well used, 500 quid's worth, probably early 20th century. But a good example, let me show you the base, hang on a minute. That's burning nicely. The smell is lovely. Smell is very important, obviously, when it comes to incense. But look at that. Completely made to fit the censer. So the censer will only fit on this stand in a certain way. So good quality. Look at the colour on the underside. Top tip for dating anything in the world of antiques. Look at the variations in colour. So that lovely warm, mellow, patinated, worn top compared to the really rich red underside. Because when new, 100 years ago or so, the top was really rich and red, but with use, wear, tear, abuse, sunlight and everything else, the colour has changed and mellowed, and you wouldn't want to change that. You want to keep that. So look, the censer will only go on one way. There we have it. Sits there. A little bit of damage. Jade is very prone to damage. This section is fine. You'll find nibbles on them sometimes, but the top here has obviously been dropped. It's just one of those things, it reflects in its value. But remember, a little bit of damage doesn't make something not beautiful. It's still beautiful. Right, lots of uses, lots of benefits for you and for anybody. And the Chinese have been getting these benefits for thousands of years. So you can pop the incense stick in that way and just let it kind of lift. But the best way to do it is this way. Drop it in upside down and watch the smoke billow. Now this is crucial when you start to meditate. Now don't let this turn you off, because you don't have to be trained to meditate. Look at that. Just keep an eye on that smoke. Focus in on the smoke, and this is what the Chinese do. It's a time of reflection, a time to bring the mind into the present moment, to give thanks, to pray, and to, look at that, worship our ancestors, to give thanks to those that have gone before us, without whom we wouldn't exist. So it's giving thanks to our past, our lineage, our blood. There we have it. Look at the clouds of smoke. These represent the spirits of your long gone ancestors. This is not spooky stuff at all. It's just a way of connecting with the past and getting a better understanding of who you are. So the cloud formations here are your ancestors. Burning incense is also a very good way to get rid of negative vibes, to cleanse the atmosphere, not only to, bring about a lovely smell in the room or get rid of nasty smells, animal smells, that kind of thing, but also just to cleanse the air and cleanse the atmosphere. In fact, it's all about nourishing the body and the mind, as well as the environment around you. There's medicinal properties here as well. Certain incense sticks, pods would be used depending on a medical condition, everything from a cold to a terrible disease. The fumes, the smells, the essences would be breathed into the lungs. And whether it worked or not, in a way, doesn't matter, because if people believed it worked, then call it placebo if you like, it really did help in many cases. If you thought you were breathing in nourishment to the soul or the physical body, you truly believed it, then there's every chance, in fact, that it would work. And a final really interesting use of joss sticks, incense sticks, was to keep time pre the invention of clocks. We did something similar in the West by burning candles. So imagine a candle with markings on it, calculated that each hour the candle would burn a certain way down the stick. And so you could leave a candle burn, go to sleep, into an office, start working or whatever, keep checking the candle, and you could see how long the candle would take to burn. So obviously you could work out what time of day it was. The Chinese in the Far East did exactly the same with incense sticks. They would mark them and they would know it take a certain amount of time for the stick to burn. Therefore, they could set a time limit of a few hours or whatever, or half a day, I suppose, before the invention of clocks. So probably working by the sun and the light and everything else, but just a really practical and very accurate way of keeping a track of time. So there you go. There we have it. £500 worth of Chinese jade censer incense burner. As a point of interest, if it was Japanese, it would be called a koro. Isn't it just gorgeous? Now get meditating. Thanks for watching. I'm David Harper. Cheerio.